Alrighty, welcome back everybody to the stream. As always, I make sure the audio is working. Sounding good to me. But yeah, we're back to play a little bit of Elden Ring. Another late night stream. We left off... What the hell was I doing? Got the emote for Blythe. Just one second here, let me think. Yeah, I don't know. There's quite a bit that we could actually do here, to be honest. Also, I am not a fan of how that is clipping through my claymore. That piece of clothing. Has it always done that? Whatever. Nitpicking aside, I probably should go over this way anyway. Yeah. I'm gonna want to go over here anyways. There's a grace, there's a couple upgrades. There's also a lion in there. I'm probably not gonna be able to fight him just yet. There's ways to cheese this game, like, hella hard. I am trying to avoid doing that though. I remember my so this is the PS5 version. I had to essentially restart. So I went from the PS4 to the PS5. I was able to convert like some save files over, but it was weird. I could only play it on the PS4 version, which the PS4 version is not bad at all. But I did see quite a bit of a difference in the frame rate when I switched to the PS5 version. And that one, I don't know, it was kind of difficult to import my saves and my characters, so I essentially had to remake all my characters. The whole reason I'm yapping about this, though, is because I remade a Guts character in the PS5 version, and that one I essentially sped run the game in order to collect all my stats and weapons and all that. And I definitely learned a lot of different methods in order to cheese this game, but again, I'm trying to play this more legit, and in any case, if anybody's watching this as a walkthrough, I kind of want it to be a little bit more simplistic. Anyways, let's switch to the finger snap emote. There it is. Oh, I do that every time. Alright. Click X on that. Light should drop down. Oh, I'm on the wrong side. There he is.
Who goes there? Carly sent you, did he? Ever the bloody busybody. Maybe to him you don't seem so strange. The name's Blythe. I'm looking for a man who goes by Darrowell. He fled somewhere nearby. Or so I've heard. Come tell me if you find him before I do. I can offer you ample reward. Darrowell is nothing but a traitor, and in need of a fitting end to his tale. And in need of...
Alright, so this is kind of where I brought up this Everjail or whatever. You're going to want to go here. We're not going to do that just yet. I want to come over here and get the grace. And then I'll teleport over here. Fast travel, whatever you want to call it. And then we'll go into the Everjail. And it's a pretty easy fight. You can go in these ruins. But, giant bear somewhere in here. Giant room bear. Uh-oh. So I have wakened up the room bear. So if that ever happens, your best bet is to just run down here. can't even remember what's in the Axe Talisman. Which does what? Enhances charge attacks. Not really better than my stamina recovery talisman. Where'd the room go? Okay, it is right there. I might be able to juke him if he can get caught on the fucking building. Jesus. I think we lost him. Yeah, room bears will, they'll mess your day up, for sure, especially at this level. Okay, there's the grace. Grab these fruits. I guess I didn't really go into it, but the crafting system is somewhat in-depth. It might be a little daunting and intimidating, confusing at first, whatever word you want to use to describe it, but right now, we don't have much to craft, so there's nothing to really worry about. You can always craft royal raisins, too. I personally never really did it that much throughout my playthrough. I don't think it's really necessary, but these are nice to have on hand. These essentially heal your horse. You can also heal yourself, and I think your horse as well, by hitting a red heal Estus flask, or it's not an Estus flask, the Crimson Tear flask, whatever it's called. You can drink your red potion and heal. But, and most of the time you can always respawn your horse. You can get off your horse and respawn and it'll come back with full health, like 90% of the time. The other couple times, your horse might actually die in combat. You can typically, I'd say like 60% of the time you can respawn your horse and not have to worry about anything. There are a few times though where your horse will die, and in order for you to respawn it, you'll have to use your Crimson Tear flask here. So yeah, it's kind of random, honestly. I still yet have not found. I would say primarily in boss fights. That's where it seems the most consistent, where it won't let you just respawn it. What we're gonna do here is just run up, grab this golden seed, run past here. Oh, this is not the same fort that I'm thinking about. The fort that I am thinking about. Oh! The fort that I'm thinking about is in fucking Caelid. This place is kind of a shithole, too, I'm not gonna lie. It's not as bad, though. There's two important things here. One, there's a knight that will drop a nice little trinket for us, but the other thing is, I will say, to run up here right away. And this is important for two reasons. Well, primarily for one, because it shares the same reason for both. So there is a certain point in this game where you will reach a lift, like a grand lift, and you can't go any further. There are a few grand lifts in this game. This one is for the first chunk of the game. To get into the Altus Plateau, you'll need this left side, and you'll also need the right side. There's two... Obviously there's two sides, so we got the left side here. I'm trying to remember. There's another one in Larunia, but I don't think that's... I think that's for a secret lift that you can use to get to another huge secret area in the game. Consecrated Snowfield. That's much later on in the game, but anyways, you can get this half right here, and there is another one, I believe, in Caelid. I might be wrong though, but either way, I guess what I'm trying to say is, at this grand lift, there's two ways up it. There's the normal way, which I wish I would have known in my first playthrough. God, I gotta kill this guy quick. Yeah, that's what I want from him. He has this bloody slash, which is a very nice Ash of War to start with. As you can see, that shit goes through shields. So if you can, try to get a backstab on this guy. Oh my god, we gotta get rid of this asshole. Damn. As you can see here, blood loss is a very, very viable, what the hell would they call it? I'm sure there's a name for it. I'm drawing a blank. I don't know. I'll just call it an effect on your weapon. There are a lot of different effects that you can have on weapons in this game. Blood loss is undoubtedly the best one, though. Even to this day, I think it is one of the best ones out there. When this game first came out, it was 100% the best. And it's still pretty damn good, even with all the patches and the nerfs that they've made to it. Even when it comes to PvP, but also like PvE, like just random NPCs and shit like that when you're fighting. Blood loss is a very, very nice thing to have. Which it's kind of hard to show off now, but later on it'll definitely show how nice it is to have. You can have it as an Ash of War, like that is an Ash of War that will cause bleeding effects, but you can also use the whetstone blades to kind of change how your weapon is. Dude, can you just die? God, these little assholes with their throwing bombs. Oh, the rat came up here. I thought I died there for a second. Alright. Oh my god! Get the fuck out of here, rat! Thank you for getting in my fucking way, dude. Oh my god! I mean, to be fair, I am coming up here when I really shouldn't be. Enough. Alright, let's fight this guy on one-on-one. Bad roll. He's doing a couple of delayed swings here. I just really don't want that blood loss meter to fill up just yet. I'm also using this Claymore sword when I really shouldn't be. This is painfully slow. Oh, come on. Give me the backstab. Oh, this motherfucker. Let me heal quick, please. Oh, of course he's gonna punish it. Oh man, he's doing his little power tricks on me now. Little R2. Fuck you. Just gonna keep hitting him. There we go. That was definitely a lot more difficult than it needed to be, but we got the bloody slash. Which is nice, because I don't really want to come back here. So I guess what I'm trying to say is the bloody slash, very solid Ash of War. Also, I do believe it scales with your arcane, so if you spend more points into arcane, you can do a hell of a lot of damage with blood loss. Anyways, we've got the fort hiked down. That's all I really cared about. We can go here. So we got a chat on YouTube from no one at all. Welcome in. Hello, all done with DS Remastered. Yeah, I finished it just a couple days ago. I was debating if I should start an Elden Ring playthrough or a Dark Souls 3 playthrough. And honestly, as much as I do enjoy Dark Souls 3 and I want to get back into that, I think right now I kind of just... I don't know, Dark Souls 3 is just a really depressing ass game. In the grand scheme of things, with all the lore, if you take into account everything you did in Dark Souls 1, and the outcomes of all that in Dark Souls 3, it's just kind of depressing. But I will be playing Dark Souls 3 very soon. I'm very excited to get into that, but I kind of wanted something with a little bit more lighter tone. And I don't know, Elden Ring kind of feels more like... not as... well, obviously it's not Dark Souls, but it's not as dark. But yeah, did it, I finished it, and I beat it with Solaire, so that was pretty fun. But yeah, this is where we are going to want to go after you talk to Blythe. Before you do anything, make sure you summon in Blythe, because he's right here.
Darrowell.
Kind of like a little mini boss.
No true justice. No. This is where it ends for you.
You honestly can kind of just sit back and let Blythe do his thing. He's probably going to knock him down for repulse. You can kind of go in and punish that. So even with how, like, janky my build is right now, still fucking up Darwell. Gotta watch out for that, though. Kind of do these little zoomy attacks on you. Not sure if you can parry him either. I've never actually tried to parry Darwell. There we go, we got him. Oh, nice. Congrats, man. And you made the right choice choosing Elden Ring over DS3. Don't believe? Why were you rewarded with a mount then? I've definitely got to say Dark Souls 3 is pretty good, but if you, like, take into the account the story, the plot, which it's kind of easy to overlook in these types of games, but I think Dark Souls 3 is a little bit more on the nose with the plot. And, I don't know. I enjoyed Dark Souls 3, but I never got too far into it because it's just kind of a depressing game. I mean, there's no other way to put it. I'm playing through a game and it's like, dude, I'm just a dead guy that's died so many times over and over. And the whole themes and metaphors and stuff that was in Dark Souls 1 kind of seems like they took all that and they're like, you know what? Fuck you. And you know what? The entire world's gonna fucking blow up and it's all gone and it's gonna be your fault. No matter what you do, no matter what you choose, you're either gonna put a stop to everything and end all existence, or you're just gonna rekindle the flame again and do the same fucking thing over and over again in a broken world. I don't know. I'm sure there's a lot more nuance to the story, but that's like the dumbed down version of what I got. But also, I don't know. I'm just kind of like dark storied out right now. not Dark Souls wise, but just like I've just been ingesting way too much depressing ass stories lately, and I need something a little bit more upbeat. That was kind of like my deciding factor in starting Elden Ring first, but after this Elden Ring playthrough, I will definitely be going back to Dark Souls 3.
Right. There you are. Had to work for it, but it's done. Don't say I'm not a man of my word. You're your prize.
I'll give you this nice little somber smithing stone 2.
Oh, if you venture north to Rhea Lucaria, tell him I sent him. Be sure to treat. I owe you one, I reckon. That's enough chit-chat for this time we parted. That's enough this time we parted.
Also, there is dialogue. He'll kind of foreshadow there's another blacksmith you'll meet later on. I guess I wasn't paying attention, but we should have gotten the weapon. Yeah, there it is. Bloodhound's Fang. Requires 18 strength, 17 dex. So not too much of an investment. Really good starter weapon. I'm not sure if I'll be able to show off its Ash of War right now. Okay, it's kind of there, but it is a hell of a lot better when you actually are able to wield it properly. But essentially you just hold L2. When I first started playing this game and I played PvP, I just demolished everybody with it, including my buddy. He got to the point where he's like, dude, stop using that fucking sword already. Now looking back on it, this is a really easy thing to counter in PvP, but at the time, I used this weapon for such a long time in this game. It was between this until I was able to use Guts Sword. I don't know, I really liked this weapon. I liked its animations, I liked its moveset. These are the animations with two-handing. It has this really nice swipe. Kind of fat rolling with it though. It's only a downside, but that's to be expected. Yeah, animations are pretty clean. Only downside is there's no forward stabbing attack, but honestly, that's not really a huge deal in this game as opposed to the other Dark Souls games. You'll be in tight corridors, sure, but your sword does not catch on walls as much, and there isn't really nearly as many tight hallways. DS3 has a better story, sure, but it also had 2 prequels. Yeah, that's true. Elden Ring has its own story and the first in its line, but the gameplay is hands down better. I can't argue with that. I will say the story, in my opinion, is and that's because it's kind of, yeah, it's like the start of its own. I don't think the story is as good as Dark Souls, but it's pretty close. It's pretty freaking close. And the gameplay, yeah, gameplay is a massive improvement. It's like, it takes a little bit of everything aside from, like, I don't know, the rallying from Bloodborne. But it's like a little bit of everything is sprinkled in from FromSoft's games into this game. And yeah, it's just all around, gameplay-wise, this is the peak of FromSoft gameplay here. If you're looking for something with a happier, brighter storyline that's less challenging and avoids trying to break the player, maybe try Animal Crossing. Dude, I fuck with Animal Crossing. Maybe, I wouldn't say the more newer Animal Crossings, but Animal Crossing on the GameCube, man. Oh, that was awesome. If I became an Animal Crossing player or streamer, that would be crazy. I think that's one game that you could just play forever. I don't really think there's ever an ending to it. Also, I just never understood why I got so addicted to that game. Like, on the GameCube at least, and the Wii, those 2 Animal Crossings, they had me in a grip, man. I couldn't stop playing them, but I had no idea why. It was just like, there's never really anything you accomplish in that game. There's like these little chores and tasks and goals, but there's never any, like, any huge, like, oh my god, yes, moments in Animal Crossing. But maybe I'll have to try that someday for a stream. Do a little bit of Animal Crossing. Honestly, I gave it a lot of shit, but it's a nice break from FromSoft's types, for real. That is true. Yeah, sometimes, I will say FromSoft will always be, you know, their games will always be much more satisfying to me than any other game when it comes to actually completing something. But that's due to the challenge. But sometimes it is kind of nice to have a relaxing game. I would say a game I really enjoyed that was, I mean, maybe not as similar, but somewhat similar to Animal Crossing was Stardew Valley. It was like a mix between Animal Crossing and Harvest Moon. That was just a cozy little game. Sometimes you just gotta have a couple cozy games laying around to play. Anyways, let's see. Okay, I did that. What else did I want to do? There's just so much stuff to do, honestly. Could go to Margit. I swear there was some more stuff I wanted to do, though. I already got patches. Went down and grabbed the Claymore sword. There's... Yeah, I mean... you throw this on a... Put this on a dartboard, throw a dart at it, and just go there, and there's 100 different things to go, and there's just so much shit to do. It's kind of hard to, like, really narrow down specifically what you should do right off the bat. But, what the hell? Yura's down here? I've never seen him down here before. What the fuck are you doing down here, man?
I give you fair warning to stay clear of Agil Lake and known Dragon Roost. Don't be a fool. Turn back before it's too late. Don't be a fool. Turn back before it's too late. Don't be a fool. Turn back before it's too late.
Well, that's interesting. See, this is what I like about this game. There's always something new to learn. I never even knew that Yura would show up here. I have never once seen him sitting here. Interesting. Well, he's definitely talking about the dragon here. I don't know how you could get to this point in his quest line, where you go over that way, talk to Patches, fight the NPC invader, and come this way without ever interacting with the dragon. Unless you're like me, and you are purposefully avoiding the dragon. I feel like it's just... that's crazy. Is this a dog? Praise the dog, yes. Love these messages. Dogs ahead. Dog. These messages used to crack me and my buddies up so much. I love it. I don't know what it is with the Elden Ring community, but they love calling turtles dogs. Oh, look at him. He's kind of crawling over to me. Good dog. I think one of my highest rated messages in this game was there's like a couple of turtles you can find, or tortoises, or whatever you want to call them. Later down the line, there's a group of them, and I placed some messages that said praise the dog, or praise the pack, therefore dog, or something like that. I got like, I don't even know, like 100,000 likes on it. Which is just a testament to how important dogs are in this ecosystem in Elden Ring. There's a giant crab over there. Honestly, I think I'm just gonna teleport back to... start at the gate front and work our way. Yes, Animal Crossing has less sense of achievement. Nice to just water plant sometimes, though, and not get stuck wanting to throw my PS4 out a window because I'm yet again stuck on a boss. Yeah, that's true. I do like cozy games. Honestly, I know it's kind of weird, but Red Dead Redemption is kind of like that for me. Just hopping into an online session. You know, there isn't a lot of people, kind of like your own little solo thing. I don't know, there's been so many times I got done with work trying to play Red Dead 2 with my buddies, and I just pass out. It's so relaxing. I love it. My ex bought me a shirt referencing that turtle. Never even played Elden Ring or watched me play it. They've got shirts for the turtles? That's awesome. Got a chat on YouTube from Cats and Dogs Have Fun. Welcome in. Hey yo, liked and subbed. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. It was awesome. Let's see. Yeah, we might as well just level ourselves up here. Don't really have a lot of souls, though. Oh, I guess I do, actually. Let's see, what was that? That's probably going to be my weapon for right now. Or actually, I could just do the claymore right off the bat. That'd probably be smarter. I don't know, it's a mix between these two, but honestly, the claymore is a better choice, to be honest. This is kind of a dex and strength-based weapon. Also, this one puts me at a heavy load. But it does do slightly more damage than the claymore, and it causes blood loss buildup. But I can always put those effects on the claymore later on. I think we gotta go claymore. I mean, that's what I used in Dark Souls 1 for the first half, so gotta pay homage. Level up to, was it 16 strength? Make sure again here. Yeah, now we can use it just fine. I think I'm gonna stick one more point into strength so I can just get a little bit of increase on the weapon attacks. And I guess to kind of point this out too, because this is really confusing for some people, and it was really confusing for me at first, but it's honestly pretty straightforward once you understand everything. So, for the strength, you can see when you tune it up, it'll kind of show you different areas that are improved by you leveling up that specific stat. You can look on that. On the right side, it shows base stats, and it'll level up your right hand armaments, at least on one. So it'll put it to 61. Left hand ornament will go from 83 to 84. Your magic goes up for, well, this is defense against magic. Fire, lightning, holy, all that goes up. Your immunity, robustness, focus, and vitality all go up. And that's, the body area is kind of more so based on, like, different diseases, I guess, in this game, you could say. There are other things, though, like, let's take a look here. Yeah, like right here. For example, Arcane doesn't do anything to your right-hand ornaments, but it will increase your immunity, robustness, focus, vitality, your defense power, pretty much all the way through, at least halfway. And it also boosts your item discovery, as you can see in the base stats. So there's a lot of different things that you can add in here. Poise probably is affected by nothing. Wow, that's weird. I could have sworn that endurance affected your poise, but your endurance will change your stamina, your max equip load. Mind is for your FP, which is that blue bar. Also affects everything on the right side. Bigger, kind of the same thing. Primarily, like, overall, like, most of these things will upgrade pretty much everything that you need to worry about, but so we can take a look here. So the physical is 138 plus 22. That's coming from my strength stats. So you get a plus 22 based on how much stats you put into a specific thing, or to a specific, like, for example, strength. I'm just going to point this out as an example, make it more streamlined. If you look down, halfway down on the screen, you'll see attribute scaling. And that's where you want to take it. You really want to look at that, because that is really going to help you in this game. This claymore scales with strength and dex. And it looks like it scales a little bit more with strength, but it has nothing to do with intelligence, faith, or arcane. Thank God. But, so yeah. So essentially, if you're leveling up your strength and your dex, you will get increased damage on top of the base damage from the weapon. So, and it's at a D scaling for dex and strength, which isn't the best. There's definitely some weapons out there that scale better with strength and dex, but you can always change this later on in the game, depending on like your Ashes of War, your Whetstone Knives, and other things too. Like so like I was kind of touching on that a little bit, but the passive effects that you can put on your weapons later on in the game, like blood loss, they can really change a weapon, for better and for worse. sometimes it'll actually ruin the scaling on your weapon. So, like, this is an example. I don't know. I can't remember this off the top of my head. I don't even think this is what would happen to this Claymore, but I'm just going to say it as an example. If I were to put blood loss on here, hypothetically, there could be a chance that it could turn my strength into an E tier and my dex into like a B tier. So that would mean it would completely switch it around to scale much better with dex than strength, and it would actually scale worse with strength instead of like what its base weapon model is like, if that makes sense. I know that's kind of a lot, it's a little confusing, but so essentially what that would mean was, in this hypothetical of mine, it would scale, oh yeah, let's say as well it would scale with arcane. It would add in a stat for arcane as like B tier. So then you would want to instead start to focus on dexterity and arcane. More arcane you have on most weapons and most like arcane abilities that trigger blood loss, it will increase the how fast you can apply blood loss to an enemy. And in this hypothetical, you would want to you could really kind of screw over yourself, I guess, in a way. So like, say you're like, oh dude, I want to go strength, and you're putting all your stats into strength, and then you apply blood loss to this claymore. Hypothetically, it ruins your strength scaling. Now you're kind of fucked, you know? You're like, oh man, I've got 13 dex, but I've got 60 strength, and it put my strength to an E tier. You'll still do good damage, but you could do a hell of a lot more if you had it invested into dex. So it's a give or take with a lot of these things, and it gets pretty intricate. I'll delve deeper into that later on, but I kind of just wanted to go over that really quick, gloss over it. Yeah, man, it has a big turtle on it, and it just says, "Behold, dog." Dude, that's awesome. I need that shirt. Great stream. Gotta run. Catch you on the next one for sure. Hey, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Catch you on the next stream. Yeah, so I now have enough stats to properly wield the claymore, but I'm gonna just put one more into strength and then one more into endurance. I definitely need to get that endurance up faster. Also, like every FromSoft game, there's soft caps. The soft caps in this game are a little bit different. I want to say there's a soft cap at 30 for, at least for endurance and vigor. And then it goes into a hard cap at like 20 levels after 30, I think. So it'd be around 50 to 60, somewhere in that. I have to look at the list again. I remember I had all this memorized, but and when I say soft caps and hard caps, essentially what that means is, this is something that's in every one of these FromSoft games, but they're all kind of at different levels. So like, if you hit a soft cap at like, let's say, oh, I level up to 30 endurance, you're gonna hit a soft cap there, and your yield back, so like, well, I can't use the example now because I already leveled up, but let's say I leveled up endurance and it went to, let's say, hypothetically, that max equip load up there and stamina. Let's just focus on one. I'm trying not to get too confusing here. Let's just say that your stamina went from, like, if I were to level it up, my endurance, my stamina would go from a 99 to a 105. Once you hit the soft cap, your percentage of increasements in stamina, for example, and we're just using one, so I'm trying not to confuse people, your percentage would be lower after 30. So that's what the whole term of soft cap would come into play. So essentially, instead of me getting 105, let's say I was at a soft cap right now for endurance, instead I would get like 102. And then the further up the line, or the further up the levels you go in that specific stat, eventually you'll get a hard cap where it will give you like 1 point, maybe, if you're lucky. And if you get really high, this is when you'll be kind of endgame. When you get really high leveled up, let's say, like, this would be really dumb, but let's say you get 80 endurance, and you level it up you want to level up one more time. you will get like 0.1% back on stamina, so you wouldn't even be getting like 0.1 increase on stamina from the endurance, if that makes sense. Hopefully it does. You can apply that same type of like soft cap knowledge to every one of these levels. So the main thing is, you probably won't ever run into this issue, but you don't really want to waste points on your build. So like if you have 60 vigor, or let's say you have 80 endurance, let's just stick with that because that's what I was talking about before. Let's say you have 80 endurance and you have like 10 vigor. You are much better off spending those points into vigor. Like much better off, because you'll get much higher returns from vigor since it's such a low level. Hopefully all that makes sense. You can take that and apply it to all these stats. Yeah, I kind of just wanted to go over that real quick. What the hell? The helly? Left an item here for me. Golden seed, awesome. This is really cool. Almost forgot to grab the golden seed. Alright, we can put a charge into our flasks. Got 7 and 0 FP right now. Which is alright by me. Alright. We could fight Margit right now, or we could do the smarter thing and be a little bit more patient. There's a lot of different ways to get runes here. I've already picked up a lot of consumables. What is this recent items tab? Oh, this is new. They did not. I remember this. They did not have recent items before this. I guess that's kind of cool. Anyways, where is it? Is it crafting materials? No. Tools. It's definitely tools. Okay, so these are like souls, consumable souls from the earlier games. You'll have these golden runes. They all have different levels to them and how much you'll get back. It's kind of nice. It actually shows you right now how much you'll get back specifically, so you're not wasting too many. But I think a smarter decision would be to go back here quick. I'm going to pay a visit to blacksmith.
Well, I took you for no matter it. Lay out your arm.
Okay, just need 530 runes. I can level it up once. I'm not gonna go too crazy with the claymore because I know eventually I won't be using this weapon. But for now, how many runes do I have at this very moment? Use one of these. Alright.
Already, no matter.
Gonna strengthen the weapon here. I could do it one more time too. Maybe that would be smart as well. I don't want to get too carried away with upgrading this weapon though.
Back already, no matter.
Oh wait, it was like 900 something, wasn't it? No. No, we're good. Alright. That is as far as it'll go right now. I don't have any more smithing stones. But these smithing stone number 1s are really easy to come by. There's so many in this game. Eventually you get a bell bearing too. Actually, it might already be over there. These are like infinite. I think there's a point where you can pretty much get all of these smithing stones and give the bell bearing smithing stones to these cronies over here, or whatever they're called. The crones. I don't even fucking remember their name. Maiden husks? Twin maiden husks. Okay, they're not selling any right now. But yeah, eventually you get to a point in this game where you can buy infinite amounts of all of the smithing stones aside from like the ancient dragon smithing stones. But those are like, if you get to that point, you know what weapon you want to waste those on. We got another chat on here from YouTube from the Worm Archives. Welcome in. Who is your favorite boss? Ooh, that's a tough one. My favorite boss. Well, I will say Margit really kicked my ass when I first started playing this game, and it was really cool to me. I really loved his AI. It really, since it was my first FromSoft game at the time, it just felt like I was fighting against something real. Something that was adapting constantly with my attacks and not giving up at all. It was constantly like learning my attacks, kind of, you know, working around the common things that I was doing, and then I was doing the same thing, trying to learn his attacks. It was just a back and forth thing. So, like, the simpleton part of me wants to say Margit, but the other part of me really, really liked, what the hell was his name? Radahn. Radahn was such a fucking cool boss fight. I can't wait to fight him again. Like, it literally felt like you're going into battle with hundreds of, well, not really hundreds, but like 20 NPCs just rushing at this boss and the lore behind him and everything. It's like, dude, this guy is a warrior, and you're like in this desert, this large arena. I don't know. Radahn was really cool too. I don't know. There's so many good bosses in this game. It's hard to pick from just one. But I've got to say, probably Radahn. That or the Fire Giant. Fire Giant also was a really cool boss because it was exactly what I was looking for. A gigantic boss enemy in one of these games. Just huge. I guess I don't have to pop one of these things? Yeah, okay, that's weird. I guess this is always here. I thought that you had to use one of these bird flowers in order to summon them in. Maybe you did have to in the day one patch. Thoughts for the Elden Ring movie? There's an Elden Ring movie? Wait, are you serious? Hold on. Let me look this up real quick. Do a little tangent here. Elden Ring movie. Wow, it's the second thing that popped up. 1 day ago. Alex Garland officially making Elden Ring movie. That sounds like a terrible idea. Elden Ring movie officially in the works at A24. Alex Garland set to direct. No way this is real. Oh my god, these are actual legit news outlets. Elden Ring fans give cautious welcome to plan for a live-action film with a video game. A live-action Elden Ring movie is coming out and no one's quite sure how to feel about it. Fans react to Elden Ring movie. News, we're in the best hands possible with Garland. That's insane. That's really cool. Wow. Just announced yesterday. Yeah, wow. Well, what a coincidence. I start an Elden Ring playthrough and the movie's being... Who are they gonna have be the Tarnished? Jack Black? And Runark. I really hope... Yeah, no, there's no way that they're actually gonna go with a satirical version of Elden Ring. That would be terrible. Yeah, George R.R. Martin worked on this game, so I guess it's not too far out there to see it become a movie. That dude was into like the Lord of the Rings and stuff like that, and they made that work. So I guess, I'm not sure how to feel about it because Elden Ring as a movie. I don't know. I mean, this game's kind of already mainstream, obviously, but. And I always love seeing more people get into FromSoft, and I feel like that will definitely bring even more people into the FromSoft like games. But the downside of that is I don't want FromSoft to become the next Ubisoft or the next EA or anything like that. And I feel like it used to be such a cult classic with all their games, and now it's becoming so mainstream that I am getting nervous that they will soon turn into like a, one of those companies. Hopefully not. These guys have been probably the #1 developer for me, in my opinion, in the past couple of years. So hopefully that doesn't happen, but I don't know. I'm interested to see how it'll come out. But yeah, I'm sure it'll play out similar to Lords of the Rings. Age of the Dark Soul is over. Now begins the Age of the Elden Ring with Night Rain and the inevitable Elden Ring 2. This might be an unpopular opinion. I don't think Elden Ring needs a 2, to be honest. I mean, it can definitely have a 2. I know I'm yapping before this boss fight, so apologies for people who are watching this in the future, or even now, that are like, oh, dude, just fight the boss, I want to know how to do it. No, this is a really cool thing that I just found out about from you. So that's really interesting. But yeah, I would say I don't think Elden Ring needs a sequel. I think Elden Ring is a great standalone game. They could definitely do a sequel. There's so much lore with this game. I do have to disagree on the Age of Dark Soul being over. I do agree though that it is done. It's finished. The story is over. They told all that they needed to tell, and I mean, they could always add more to it, but lore-wise, the story it's finished, which is a real bummer in my opinion, because I honestly, and this is coming from somebody who started on Elden Ring, I think Dark Souls has so much more interesting lore to me. And I think it's because I am so drawn to dark fantasy games. And Elden Ring is slightly dark fantasy, but I feel like it's a lot more light fantasy. And I don't know, the themes of Elden Ring did not really move me that much. But when I played Dark Souls, it was very motivational, very impactful. And, I don't know, I would really like to see a Dark Souls 4, or even a Dark Souls remake, with similar mechanics and gameplay elements used as, like, Elden Ring. I don't know. I know that there's not ever going to be a Dark Souls 4, and I'm just coping because that story is done and over and it's been told, but I wish they would, again, at least one more, you know, using the same, using all the stuff that they learned from Elden Ring. If they made a Dark Souls 4, oh, that would be so good. Bring back Covenants and all that. As someone who was introduced to Souls games through... Okay, cat. What are you doing? Enough of that. Dude, what the fuck? Oh my god. My cat has ripped up a bunch of shit. I just turned around. There's just a mess of stuff behind me. Hold on. I've got to clean this up quick. What did you get into? Yet again, the cat has opened up a drawer in the bathroom, yanked out some toilet paper, and has decided to decimate it. It's scattered all over my floor. That's just fucking great. This cat is a demon, I swear to God. Okay, anyways. As someone who was introduced to Soul game through Elden Ring, I'm glad it became more mainstream, but I also feel you're concerned. Yeah, I'm happy that it's mainstream, but... there's a pro and a con to stuff like that. But I mean, the big pro right now is FromSoft is just booming right now. These guys are now that it's like mainstream, these guys are never gonna have any troubles with gaining an audience. That would be cool. Really love the Covenants in DS1. I wish I could have been there for it in its heyday. I will say I kind of miss that too. Like, coming back to Dark Souls 1 after I played this, I can definitely tell that, like, it's a very small community still playing on Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3. It's there, and they interact on the online aspects, but nowhere near as much as Elden Ring. for obvious reasons. Like, it's such an old game. But that doesn't mean it's bad. But I do kind of wish that Elden Ring had more Covenant-style stuff. Like, the Covenants and all that, that was really cool. And the way they did invasions and online co-op and all that in the older games felt a lot more... There's a lot more at stake, and there was a lot more rewarding stuff for it. In this game, you're just invading for, what, the fun of it and maybe a rune arc? But when you invade in other Dark Souls games, there's like actual items that you get that can increase your Covenant, and you can get all sorts of different specific weapons and items. I don't know, it's really cool. Anyway, I've been sitting here yapping for a while. Let's try fighting Margit. Oh, I forgot to grab the sorcerer. Well, I'm dead. Not doing that good. Oh, he is loving that attack lately. Oh, get me away from the hammer. Okay. I was kind of not locked in there. It's kind of out of focus. And on top of that, I kind of want the sorcerer in here. It makes it a lot easier. You could definitely do this fight without him, though. Alright, let's summon in the sorcerer. I probably should have waited for him. Whatever. My best advice here is if you have the sorcerer in there, try to let him aggro Margit. And then, well, Margit's sitting in a really bad spot for both of us right now, but you want to get behind him. Especially if you're a strength user. Just do a lot of those jumping R2 attacks, and you'll, as you can see there, you'll knock him down in a stance break. You'll be able to do a riposte. Does a chunk of damage. Wow, that was a 360 tailwind.
Thou art of passing skill. Warrior blood must truly run in thy veins. Tarnished.
He's gonna kill Sorcerer Rajir here. Might be too late for him. Yep, it's done. This guy has a lot of delayed attacks, by the way. That's kind of where he really chokes you up. He goes between delayed attacks and really quick attacks. It's pretty fun boss fight when you're starting out. Your move, Margit. Oh, now you want to push me. Yep, of course. I'm dead. See, I got caught up there because I was panic rolling. And panic rolling really fucks you up in this boss. Honestly, in general in this game. Whereas the older games you could kind of get away with panic rolling. This game, it takes into the account that a lot of players that play these games will panic roll, and there's just so many bosses that will roll catch you. And despite that too, you'll use up a lot of your endurance panic rolling. So I don't know. You really want to be mindful of when you're rolling, at what time and stuff. I don't know. The bosses in this game are super complex compared to the previous installments. Let's try it again. I feel like I could get him without having to do any more upgrades or anything. Alright, Roger, I'm gonna need you to start shooting some spells my way, please. He's not doing his job right. Oh, he's gonna kill him. Nice job. Nice job, Roger. Nice job.
I shall remember thee, Tarnished, smouldering with thy meager flame. Cower in fear of the night. The hands of the fell omen shall brook thee no quarter.
Alright, so yeah, Margaret's yapping over here. Whatever. Don't care. But now you got a good chunk of souls, so you can use that to level up, upgrade your weapons, whatever you want to do. I'm gonna start sticking it more into maybe one more into strength for now. Focus on endurance. And there you go. Now you have entered Stormvale Castle. Lot of stuff in this castle. You can miss out on quite a bit. Well, not miss out, but you can definitely overlook a lot of different stuff. Right off the bat, I don't know, you could just kind of get lost in just this castle alone. Just so much different stuff to go run around and do and see. Grab this item here.
You there? Come over here, would you? You're tarnished, aren't you? I would advise against taking the main gate into the castle. It's tightly guarded by hardened old hands. try the opening right here. The guards don't know about it. You'll breach the castle undetected.
They are definitely they have definitely changed up some stuff in this game. Mainly, like, I'm starting to notice a lot of these NPCs will actually talk to you before you get to, like, actually hit the talk button. Which I don't remember that on my first playthrough at all. And also, I very distinctly remember this choice being, like, a yes or no choice. And, like, it's just kind of like you'd click on whatever, and it's like, oh, I clicked the wrong one. So, it's kind of cool they kind of changed that, but you'd either say very well or no, I'll use the main gate. I would just recommend hitting no, because it'll open up the main gate for you.
Fair enough. You certainly don't have to trust me. Well, if you must go through the gate, but of course, you, the guards, you'll slip right in.
Oh. Say no, I'll use the...
Of course, when you approach, it's only...
You do want to take this guy's advice, though, but I will say, at least it used to be where if you said, yeah, sure, he would not open this gate, but you can stand in front of this if you say no, and he'll open the gate for you.
Open the gates.
And you will very quickly find out why you should not take this path, but there's a couple items here that we can grab. That's it. And I would recommend not going any further forward. I would come back here. You could talk to him again.
The gates are open. It's only your neck on them.
Maybe it's only after you die. There's a couple different things you can do with this NPC. Later on in the second boss in this castle, he'll show up and he kind of does this cool little thing. He does want you to kill the grafted, what the hell was his name? Not Godfrey, I think it's Godric the Grafted. Kind of like betraying his own team because he doesn't like the guy. And we also got kind of like hinted at about Godric the Grafted from... forgot her name. What the hell was her name? Of course she's not there anymore, but near Stormhill Shack. That little... the fuck was her name? I can't remember. I'm getting the names in this game, but yeah, she had like a red hood on and everything. Anyways, I would recommend killing this guy. You don't have to, but he's kind of an asshole, so I'm gonna kill him.
What's it to you? Step back, you tarnished.
And the reason that I would recommend killing him is because he will do something very, very nefarious to you when you're getting closer into the castle. Also, he drops his bell bearing.
What did I do to deserve?
So, you can, again, those bell bearings you can offer into the Twin Maiden husks in the Round Table Hold, so you're not missing out on much. Kind of missing out on the ending cutscene with him in it. But the reason why you kill this guy is because he will lock you in a room with a very, like, more high-level enemy. The enemy will kill you, most likely, and you will lose your runes. And I mean, like, straight up lose them. You won't even get the option to get them back. If you have a lot of runes on you at the time, that's gonna really suck. You can still get into this room, you can still gain access to it and everything. It's just this time around with him dead, the doors are locked, and or they're not they won't lock on you, so you can walk in there and walk out freely. Versus if he's alive, he will lock you in there to steal your souls when you die. So that's why I recommend killing him. Come on. There we go. Buzzing little bird. LOL, I never knew that 5 playthroughs and multiple walkthroughs in, and I'm still learning. Yeah, there's, I mean, hell, I just learned something out. That Yura can just be over near bottom of the lake. Kind of, where is he? Right here. which I did not know that. There's still so much stuff about this game that I'm finding out to this day, so there's definitely a shitload of content in this game. That's why I'm saying it's kind of hard to really pinpoint a specific thing to go do first or anything, because everybody has their own different way of doing it, and there's no really right or wrong way, but there are better ways and there are less better ways, and I'm just kind of trying to show the way that I, at least for my strength builds that I usually take, that isn't a cheesy method. I can say that I could definitely show off how to cheese this game really quickly. I don't think that's as fun though. Not really enjoyable. I only ever really do that if I'm trying to make a quick build up to a certain specific level for online aspects, but anyways, there should be an item up here. Also, I will say too, another cool thing about that guy, xAustishx, I think his name was, he's actually stalks you throughout this castle. And you can kind of see him stalking you occasionally. I think one of the first places is you'll see him stalking you right up there. And I think you can get up there and he'll talk to you, or you could talk to him, and he's a little suspicious. And then later on throughout the castle, you'll just see him walking around just kind of staring at you. Occasionally, if you catch him looking at you, he'll kind of run away and hide. He's always sitting by corners and areas that it's kind of hard to see, but if he was alive, I'm pretty sure he'd be up here somewhere right now. But he is not. And for good reason. Fuck that guy. There's an item over here. Smithing stone number 3. Gatekeeper Gastock. Okay, that's his name. Gastock. He does sell you Ancient Dragon Smithing Stone after you've completed the Nephili Luz / Kenneth Heights questline. I'm not sure if it's in the bell bearing you get from him or not. Yeah, I can't guarantee you that. Honestly, I'm probably leaning towards the no option. That if you kill him here, you probably won't be able to grab that. Which is kind of a bummer, yeah. I will say that is definitely a very important item that you'll want as many of as you can later on in the game. But to be honest, there's so many that chances are you'll find plenty throughout your playthrough. And oh, this guy's alerting people already. Hold on, let me come back and rest. I don't know. I think for new players, Gastock or whatever his name is, locking you in that room is super fucking annoying. Definitely was really annoying for me. Anyways, there's an opportunity. Oh, I think here it is. Can sneak up here. Ah, he's found me. Great. If he does do his little horn, he's gonna whistle. Not whistle, he's gonna alert everybody over here. They're not super tough, but this is good parrying practice here. Which, speaking of parrying, now that we have the bell bearing, I can probably just go to the Twin Maiden Husks, get a good parrying shield. Oh! Almost fell off the edge there. But yeah, Gastock does have, once you get to the end of this castle at least, well, I don't think I can see it from here. I think you can only see it when you offer the bell bearing. Yeah. But you'll be able to buy the buckler from him, which is one of the best parrying shields in this game. Not really great for defense, but the buckler shield is a very good shield to parry with. Increases your iframes for a parry, and there's also different things, like if you have a buckler shield with a golden parry Ash of War on it, you could parry people. Like I could parry somebody from right here, and there's an enemy in that next room, essentially, like right here. I could parry from that distance, run up, and then just backstab him. It's so good. It's such an amazing shield for parries. Speaking of parrying, let me try practicing a little bit more. What the hell was that? God, I suck at parrying in this game. I'm so used to playing Dark Souls 1 now. There we go, there's a solid parry. Alright, for this you can either run forward really fast, or you just back up a little bit. I recommend doing this for newer players, so you don't get blown up. As you can see, the bombs, even if they don't blow up the barrels, they still hit you pretty hard. If you are in the middle of the barrels, though, you're probably going to just get one shot. Alternatively, you can kind of roll around and break the barrels. That'll stop them from blowing it up. Yeah, these guys throwing bombs are annoying. Okay, a couple of different paths here. We can grab this. We can drop down here and go up that way. Which I am gonna do really quick. Oh! So kind of an easier, like, I don't know, it really boils down to which method would you rather, like which path would you rather go. This one's really short, but you can either deal with running up to that guy while he's throwing fire bombs at you, which I will say don't run through this. It's better to just bait him and then back up, because if you try running through this, there's like a good chance you're probably just going to get one shot, because, you know, tight hallways, explosive barrels, not a good idea. But if you're fast enough, you can roll through and break the barrels before it blows you up, but regardless. It really made parries much harder to pull off in Elden Ring, yeah. Coming from playing Dark Souls 1 just a couple streams ago to this game, it's definitely going to take some time getting used to. But the parries in here, yeah, they're much more precise, but they're definitely a lot more satisfying, I feel. Kill that guy, drop down here. Grab this golden rune. So the next area that we need to go is not right there. There's an item over there. That's what this room here. But obviously if you go to try to open it, it's locked. The key to it is upstairs. Really easy stuff. Pretty simplistic. Try and get this guy. Oh, I missed. Totally wicked. Oh, this guy doesn't even have that much health. Hook claws, that's what it is. Oh no, my kitty is barged in. Hold on. You are up to no good, man. Yeah. Where's that? Where'd you even get in? Such a message. Can't go 5 fucking minutes. Oh. Yes. And you got the zoomies. Awesome. So you're gonna be up to no good in just a minute. Well, at least as long as he's not destroying my cords, I'll take him busting open drawers and demolishing toilet paper rolls. Anyway, sorry about that. Have you played both the DS1 and Elden Ring DLC? I have, and I will say without a doubt, without a shadow of a doubt, pun intended, the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC is so fucking difficult. Very, very fun, but incredibly difficult. Also, I will say I do have some complaints. My complaint would be that the difficulty in the Shadow of the Erdtree feels like forced and artificial, with 2 reasons. One is some of the bosses in the DLC feel like they belong in Sekiro, which would be fine if they were in Sekiro, but I have the moveset of Elden Ring, so it doesn't feel that fair. And also the whole, the hell was it? The Erdtree, like, I don't know, they look like little raisins. Essentially like your whole upgrade system, because, I don't know, it really felt to me like, I understand that with what they were going with the mindset of like, oh, people are going to try to cheese the game, so we got to work around that. But there's some people who are just playing this game naturally and normally, and those people get fucked hard going into the DLC, because you essentially have to remake, like, you don't have to, but it is so much easier to just remake whatever build, like, that you had going. And just, maybe not remake it, but it feels like you have to change your whole build-up in order for it to be viable in the DLC. Anyways, I've been yapping too much. This is the door that you will open to get the key. There's a tough enemy in here, and also, with Gastic alive, if you kept him alive, the gatekeeper, he will lock this door on you. But since he's dead, he won't do that right now, and I can just run in, grab this, and get the fuck out of here. You can fight that guy. It is worth it, but I wouldn't say do it right now, because as you can see, he really fucks you up. Is that, like, Whirlwind Ash of War? I'm pretty sure he drops that, too. I could try fighting him, but I feel like I'm gonna die. Yeah, that thing. As you can see, just will annihilate you. Well, annihilate me, at least. And it sucks too, because it staggers you a little bit. If Gastic was alive, like I said, he'll lock that door. And if you died inside of that room with Gastic alive and the door locked, you will not be getting your souls back. No! I lost the item that he was going to drop. Oh no, I didn't. I grabbed it. I got the mushroom. Does this work like the Elizabeth mushroom? No, it does not. I'm not playing Dark Souls, I'm playing Elden Ring. What am I thinking? Just gonna run in here, grab my souls, and get out. Fuck this guy. I don't want to fight him right now. Anyways, you can fall down here. We can unlock this door. What's kind of cool too is me starting out this Elden Ring game. Like what my... Can't even talk. It's been a long day. With me starting off on Elden Ring through the FromSoft like library of games. When I've gone back to play them, I see such similarities between this and like a mixture of Demon Souls and Dark Souls. even to this little cliche thing that they always like to do, which is this guy running out to grab you, which is something I believe was in Demon Souls as well. Are you still throwing bombs at me, you fucker? Why would you do that? Anyways, there's a guy sitting on the left side here. He'll grab you and he'll do a backstab if he does grab you. So best thing to do is just roll. And then backstab him. Do a little switcheroo on him. That is that what I think it is? Yeah, it is. That is the area where we started the game at. You can see that's the little church that we came out of. Crossed the bridge, went through the boss gate, died to the boss. If you survive the boss fight, you can go out that way. Then a nice little item will be right there for you to pick up. Anyways, you can get back to that area from the boar. The boar. Dude, I cannot fucking talk. The 4 belfries, which is in Larunia. We'll get to that later. Let me see. Is there an item hiding over here? There is. There's a mushroom. Crafting item. Another one of these guys. Try to not fight him if you can help it. Unless you want the challenge, but I don't want to run all the way back up here, so instead I'm going to run past him. I'm going to hit the grace in this room. Run up the stairs, go into the left room. And from here, there's a lot of different things you can do, honestly. Grab this item first. See, what's the message? Hole ahead. Thank you. Thank you, FromSoft community. Alright. We cannot pull that lever yet. That's for later. Could be an enemy up here yet. Also, Archer. Forgot about you. Don't worry, I'm coming. Coming to get you. Throwing daggers. Oh shit, I remember this area. Okay, I'm probably gonna get fucked up here. God damn it. That's okay, I can just run back up here. Not locked in, man. I'm not focused. I don't even... Fuck the parrying. Run back, get my souls. There. Now he won't alert these guys, and I can take them out silently. All Metal Gear Solid style. DS1 really teaches the usefulness of backstabbing over Elden Ring. Yeah, I've got to say, backstabbing and parrying were two things I hardly did any of in Elden Ring. And then I played Dark Souls 1, and then when I went back to Elden Ring, I was like, trying it out, I'm like, wow, like, I don't know why they didn't put more of an emphasis on it in this game. Whereas Dark Souls 1, I was all about, like, every enemy I was parrying and backstabbing. So it really translated well into Elden Ring. It's definitely a lot more, a lot tighter windows, though. Alright, I think that's pretty much it for this area. And there's another one. Could drop down there, which would lead back that way. Gosh, to be honest, I don't even think I even fully ever 100% explored this castle in all of my playthroughs. That's the cool thing about Elden Ring. It's like, there's just so much. Drop down here. Stone sword key, very nice. It pays to be curious. Oh god, it's that bird. Okay, this one will spit fire at me. I need to kill him now. God, that bird just fucks you up. Well, time to run over here, and I hope whatever item that is worth it. Because I'm about to lose all my souls for it. I'm kind of going off the beaten path here, to be honest. There's just a straight shot to the boss, really, if you just follow the path, but... what's the fun in that? I rolled. I definitely rolled. But whatever you say, game. No fucking way. These guys can jump over that? That's crazy. I didn't even know that. Alright, well, I'm gonna top off, run in there, and grab that item, and try to get my souls, and get the fuck out of here. Never mind, I won't pick up my souls. Dozing cross-legged emote. That's... yeah, I've spent so many hours in this game. I've never even seen that emote. That's crazy. There's just so much about this game. I love it. So much fun with exploration and stuff. Now I can already see there's been like 4 different paths I could have taken already. Let's see. This area has one of those nights, so I am not going to go down there at all. Where even is this? Yeah, I am very familiar with that area. Oh, okay, that's the bridge that... okay, I understand. I understand you very well, game. Seems like a drop to death if I drop that far down. Oh, maybe I'd survive that. There's a rat down there. Alright, fuck you guys. Give me the item. Yes. Yes. I don't care about the souls lost. I mean, I kind of do. But, nice. Alright, so... let's see, where was I? Oh, I can see my souls from here. This is kind of a risky jump. If you sprint and you jump, you should be able to make it, just barely. Oh, never mind. Well, hey, you know, on the plus side, I don't have to worry about grabbing my souls anymore. I should have held forward. What was I thinking? I think there's also an item you can get in this game that allows you to jump just a little bit further. I don't know, I feel like there was an item or something that... First off, don't think and then try jumping. Yeah, when I first played through this game, well, not the first, I would say my first couple hours of this playthrough, I did not know that there was a sprint button, so I kept trying to jump off here without sprinting, and yeah, died every time. This area is a little tougher. These birds are going to throw bombs at you, so just kind of roll out of their way. If you have a sword, I would recommend two-handing it and just jumping up and clicking R1. I wouldn't do an R2 heavy attack. There we go. Not too tricky, but if you run in there, let them all gang up on you, and you don't break these barrels, you'll probably get blown up. It will be one shot. That is the continuation of the path over here. Mage user's gonna have a field day with these enemies, though. I'll say that. Smithing stone 2. Alright, there's a little secret path over here. Requires a little bit of platforming. And, very precise falling down, I guess. Not too crazy, but... Get a marred wooden shield. Oh, I'll never forget you. I remember getting my buddies summoned into their world. I'm like, oh, dude, check out this path over here. Unfortunately, I'll have to ruin the surprise for you guys, but when you drop on this, it'll break. Fear not, the game will allow you to live. Chase down this beetle, hopefully you get it before it disappears. You get the Storm Assault Ash of War. Something that I do not really use much at all. There's also an insane Crucible Knight over here. I think that's what they're called, Crucible Knights, if I remember right. Yeah, this guy's essentially a tank looking at you right now. See, we do a measly amount of damage to him, and he does a shitload of health to us. A nice little somber smithing stone over here, though. I'm gonna attempt to fight him a little bit longer. Never mind, I think I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. Come on. God dang it. I'm getting caught up by that fucking shield bash. Alright, you know what? You got that, man. I'm getting out of here. I'm definitely way too weak to be fighting that guy right now. Oh shit. I hear him coming. Alright, elevator. Let's get the fuck out of here, please. Before he gets on, thank you. So yeah, this little elevator will bring you back to where that grace was that we just picked up. And rest at it if you'd like. I wouldn't recommend doing that. If you killed all the enemies in this area, you're just gonna have to go and do it all again. And if you know, followed the path and ran past that knight, you should still have most of your heal flasks left. Oh. Would you look at that? Can drop down there probably pretty safely. I never noticed that there's these little these little platforms sticking out. You don't have to drop down from there though. Instead, you can go this way. Let's see, is there any item hiding over here? Nope. You just drop down right here. There's that knight sitting over there with a another weaker version of the enemy. These guys are just chilling. But you can. This is where you can meet Rogier, the summoner that we summoned in from Margit. Talk to him here.
Ah, nice to meet you. The pleasure's mine. Roger is the name. A sorcerer, as you might have guessed. I'm looking for a little something here in the castle. When I'm not hot-footing it from the troops, that is. But enough about me. What are you doing here in Stormvale Castle? This place is bristling with Tarnished hunters, you know. They sacrifice our kind for grafting. Not exactly a place I'd stroll into with... I see. Here to challenge Godric and lay off... You can see it then. Well, I'm Tarnished, but unlike you, I've seen neither hide nor... Still, I won't forget how it felt. I'm privy to a few magic... Would you care to learn one? As a fellow Tarnished...
So yeah, he's got the glintstone pebble. Not a bad little... If you're a mage build, this is an alright thing to start off with. Carrying great sword. And the spinning weapon. So these two I could probably end up using, but... Well... I could use... Well, I don't know. I don't think I want to use any of them, to be honest. But, yeah. That's what he offers. We talk to him, he'll show up at the round table hold later. And that is an important little quest line with this guy. He actually will give you his, the Roger's Rapier. Really solid weapon, and on top of that, it comes with the Bloody Slash Ash of War on it. And it's like upgraded to at least, I want to say it's upgraded to +5 as soon as you get it. So really solid, easy to get weapon. At least for the beginner area. But anyways, now we are either going to fight this guy or I am going to run away in fear. Let's find out which one it'll be. I think running away in fear is going to be it. Okay, fuck off, torch guy. What are you even doing here, huh? What do you even do? So let's be a fucking nuisance. No. I'm stuck in a corner. How nice. And I am a beasting away from death right now. So I'm gonna try to get through this next area relatively quickly. Little golden room right there. Little catwalk, and a cool thing. You kind of look down and see down there. Looking pretty familiar, huh? is one of the grafted enemies that killed us. Well, I wouldn't say it was this specific one, because it's not, but it is like the same model essentially used for the grafted boss fight that we had at the start of the game in that church when we came out, and you know, where we had to die. Essentially the game's kind of scripted for you to die there. It's not the same one though. We will fight and get our revenge on the same one that killed us though later on. Pick this item up, cool little thing, Mimic's Veil. In other Souls games, it's a lot more difficult to find, and usually it's based off of spells. Get me out of here! Holy shit. Okay, time to run past everything. He is in a very bad spot for this too. Oh, yep, turn around. Cool, cool, cool. Alright. Now I'm cooked here. I'm definitely cooked. Anyways, the Mimic Veil, I'll show that off here in just a second. I want to get the fuck past all of these enemies. I'm gonna hold a hard left here. But I unfortunately think that dog is gonna grab me. That might put an end to everything, but if I can get past this guy... Oh! Oh, I'm doing it! I'm doing it! Okay, hopefully all that was done in a way that makes sense. You just want to stick to the left side, and you'll get this grace right here. And you know what? I don't even care. I don't even care that I died. I got what I needed. Yeah, the Mimic Veil. It's a cool little thing. I usually put it in my pouch. Yeah, so the Mimic Veil is something that was... This is kind of in all the FromSoft games, but it's a little bit more hidden in the other ones. And some of them you almost need like a spell to use it. This is an easy, very easy to find item that given to you at the start of the game, only uses a little bit of FP, and you don't need to be a mage or anything to use it. It's really useful in like online stuff, and it makes for a lot of funny interactions. But if you use it, put a little crown on your head, and before you know it, you are now a prop, and the game is turned into Prop Hunt. It is sometimes useful for hiding from enemies, making sure that they don't see you, but we just show you what happens if you are moving in front of an enemy. Yeah, this is taking forever. There we go. Nothing suspicious at all. If you're moving with this, I'm pretty sure enemies will spot you. Yep. But I will say, even with moving around in the Mimic Veil, it kind of helps you get... Enemies won't they won't aggro to you as easily as far away. So it's still useful in solo play. It's definitely a lot more useful in online invasions and stuff like that. I don't know, it's a fun little gimmicky tool. You don't have to use it if you don't want to. There should be a golden seed up there. I don't have the elevator unlocked yet. Does not open from the side, okay. This whole little courtyard area will be important. We'll come back here later. Once we defeat the boss, we'll go down that way. And it'll be a hell of a fight, but that direction leads to the Great Rune. Which, if you haven't fought the next boss coming up, it's not really worth going over there at this moment. But yeah, there's a lot of different things here. Let's try going this way. I've never done this before. Or at least I think I've gotten here a different way. Oh, I used a Wondrous Flask. I did not want to use that. Oh, I can't jump that. Thought I could jump that. Alright. Well, let's see what we got. Smithing stone. Oh no, maybe I have been here. I think I have. There's another like little hidden boss here. Well, maybe not really a boss, but... Golden rune. Oh, big rat. Oh, I hear an insect. The Rancor Call. Oh, so that's where these mage users are getting this. I always wondered where they found that. Alright, if memory serves me correctly, there's a giant enemy. Might as well be a boss. If it isn't a boss, there's definitely times where it is a boss in this game, but I would say your best bet is just grab the items, get the fuck out. There's a ladder. Stone sword key. Very nice. Yeah, so I guess this counts as an enemy, but this thing is also a boss in different areas of the game. For good reason. This thing will fuck you up. So just run through. Prince of Death's. Alright. I'm gonna climb up this long ass ladder. Oh, I wonder if it's still here. I hope it is. Either my message or somebody else's. What a thrill. With darkness and silence through the night. What a fear in my heart. Definitely a big ass ladder. Metal Gear Solid fans know ladders like this very well. Please, please be what I think it is. Visions of Snake, yes. I remember this ladder used to be filled with messages, myself included, of little Metal Gear Solid references. There's an item over there. That is the only way we can go. Let's do it. Umber smithing stone. Okay. Let's not go that way. Let's go this way. I believe this is actually worth using a stone sword key on. If I remember right, there's a whetstone knife in here that... it's pretty decent, but a little bit more specific. Let's pick it up. That wasn't it either. The fuck? How about you? There it is. There it is. The iron wet blade. Nothing suspicious at all. Oh, hello there. Item over there. Sorry, man, but I am gonna have to kill you. arrows. 10 of them. Alright. I don't feel like running through that courtyard, so I'm just... I think I warped to the wrong one. Oh, no, I didn't. Now we're good. Alright, iron, whetstone. Let's see what this does again. Grants choice of affinity, upgrade to a weapon. Additional effect of heavy, keen, or quality can be chosen. Alright, that's sweet. So, this is what I was kind of talking about once you get further into the game. This will make a lot more sense. And again, there's a lot of different wet blades out there, but this one specifically targets heavy, keen, or quality, which are different affinities that you can use on your Ashes of War to kind of change the scaling of how your weapon works. So kind of what I was mentioning before, how different wet blades will change scaling. You know, or if you chose like, and this is hypothetical stuff, but like let's say, oh, I want blood. I want to apply blood with my weapon, blood loss, and it might affect, you know, it might decrease, you know, strength and increase the scaling of dex, which may or may not be a good choice for you depending on how your build is set up. But this specifically only targets the scaling. It won't add any sort of, you know, blood loss or anything like that. Let's try it. Let's see what I can mess around with here just to finally show it off. Why can't I not do it? Here we go. I don't really want to add anything to this right now, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. Actually, what is my L2 on this right now? It's the Lion's Claw? Oh my god, this whole time I had Lion's Claw, I didn't even use it once. Huh, awesome. Yeah, okay, well, I definitely don't want to take this off. I actually might duplicate this to my greatsword later so I don't have to deal with the lion right off the bat. Let's find something that I can not care about. Yeah, let's do this longsword. Let's do... Yeah, weathered straight sword. I'm not gonna use that. Let's try to pick an Ash of War that I probably won't use. Storm Stomp. Alright, this is what I was kind of talking about. So, you can just do a standard one, which won't affect anything, but also won't increase anything either. There'll be few times that you might want to just go with standard. I will say, though, I always stay away from standard. There's heavy, which, as you can see, looks good because, oh wow, you know, it changes it to a C+, or like a C scaling in strength, which does seem nice, but it completely removes dex as a factor in scaling. So it's really not that great. As you can see up here on the underneath where it says attack power and it shows physical, you look to the right and that arrow shows you what'll happen to that weapon if you apply this. So it'll actually be less. It'll be 93 plus 22, which I'm not good at math, especially at a time like this where my brain is fried. But if I am correct, it should be 115, somewhere around 115. And compare that to the left side, so what we have right now, the 103 plus 16, it's not a good choice to do that. You'll actually be getting just a little bit less. But you do want to pay attention because sometimes it might actually be a good idea to change it to something like heavy, or for example keen, which will ruin the strength scaling. Not completely remove it like heavy does, but it'll take it down a notch to E. And then your dex will actually get an upgrade, or it'll put it up a letter grade, so it'll actually scale better with dex. But then, as you can see, it gets offset because you're not getting the same scaling from strength. Quality scaling is pretty solid most of the time. It usually keeps all of the stats the same. And let's see, 88 plus 21, like 109. So yeah, it would be. It kind of keeps it close to the same range, but not exactly pinpoint accurate. Sometimes it will. It all depends on the weapon. It all depends on your build. It's all, like I said, it gets very intricate. But, and these are just like the standard, like this is a standard wet blade right now. The original wet blade that I picked up just allows you to apply Ashes of War. This one allows you to apply these heavy keen and quality. Later on, we'll pick up a black whetstone, which will help you apply, what the hell was it? I don't know, I can't remember. But there's all sorts of different whetstones, and they all give you different abilities, or different affinities that you can grant on your weapons. And some of them are really awesome, and some of them are absolute dog shit. So, and it all depends on the weapon, your build, yada yada, I've already talked about it. But yeah, hopefully this little summary right here kind of makes sense. That's all I was trying to show off here. But anyways, we've been going for 2 hours. I think I'm going to call the stream here. I feel like it's a good spot because, you know, we've gotten halfway through the castle. We've experienced some of the little secrets and shortcuts in here. I haven't really showed all of them off yet, but the boss is that direction, so not too far away. And there's a golden seed, and yeah, there's also an NPC we can summon over there. And yeah, let me just switch this back to the claymore for now. Yeah, overall, a lot of cool stuff in this area, and really just a little hint at what is to come in this game, how vast this game can get. But anyways, guys and gals, thanks so much for tuning on in. Thanks for the support. If you're on YouTube, check out the Twitch. If you're on Twitch, check out the YouTube. The pop-ups are in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. It's Austish for YouTube, xAustishx for Twitch. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Have a good night.